Hello everyone, have another review today, and this time it is of a figure that is actually fairly new. We are looking at Legacy Evolution Voyager class Tarn. Now, this figure, as far as I know, is just now released. This never happens in my local stores. I got this guy at Target. He was one of two copies. Um, I have still yet to see any of the later wave Studio Series figures or even some of the later wave Legacy figures come out in my local stores. I haven't seen Inferno, never saw Metroplex on any shelf ever, and I still haven't seen Studio Series Crosshairs or Hot Rod. So to find this guy on the shelf was actually a bit of a surprise for me because my stores never get things when they're supposed to. But moving on from that, here he is in his Cybertronian tank mode. As you can see, covered in lots of nice silver and purple and even some gold paint in the back. He does have some streaks of these bits. His cannons here are translucent plastic, some with a purple tinge to it, that have been painted purple. He also has that here on what will become his back piece and on his chest piece here. From what I can tell, it's thick enough that it's not going to just break off at any point. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, got some nice paint going on. A little Decepticon logo right there if it'll focus. Focus. There we Anyway, little Decepticon logo right there. Sorry, my camera is not wanting to cooperate today. Does have some exposed hands, but they're towards the back of the figure, and I highly doubt anyone's going to be looking at this thing like that. They're probably more than like that. Sorry, got out of frame there. More than likely they're going to be looking at it from the front like this or from the side. But yeah, that's the vehicle mode. Now let's get down to some size comparisons. Here he is with his wave mate, Leo Prime. And as you can see, Leo Prime is quite a bit taller than he is, but they're pretty... Leo Prime, because of the tail, is actually a bit longer. If I put his nose with the front of the tank here, he's actually, quite a bit longer due to the tail and the back legs. But, as you can see, both Voyager class figures. And for the next comparison, here he is with Velocitron Blur. I've taken the weapons off, so it's more of a fair assessment here. And yeah, they look pretty good together. I still don't like how his wheels don't touch, but that's for whenever we actually talk about this guy, not this guy. So, as you can see, not too much larger than Blur is. I mean, he's got about half an inch in length on him. But yeah, you see they look pretty good together. So, without further ado, let's get down to transformation. Now, for transformation, first what you're going to want to do is take this bit, just 2 tabs right there, 2 slots right there, just unplug that. Then we'll go ahead and do this now. Rotate this around like so, and these are just held on by some 5mm ports. You have 2 on each side and then 1 on top. I personally go ahead and put these in the 5mm ports that are closer to the front, just because it helps clear up some articulation later on. And then you can just set this off to the side for now. Now to the main figure itself, there are a few things you can do. If you want to go in sequence, if you want to go backwards, as the instructions go, you want to take the feet and pull them up like this, or you want to take those sections, pull them up like that, and just kind of leave them there for now. Next, what you're going to want to do, come to the bottom, fold these sections here up, and then take the tread that is behind this little purple section here and pull it around until a little tab right there, go into a little slot right there. So just tab that in, and then take that little flap and just close it up. And that sometimes will untab the arm, so you want to go ahead and do that afterwards. So same side, or same thing on the other side. Just pull it out, tab slot, and just put it together. Then close that up, untab the arm. Now for the arms, you want to take the hand and rotate it 180 degrees. And then what you're going to want to do is take this little section here and rotate it around until it clicks in. So just do the same thing on the other side. And over rotated this hand. Get that fixed real quick. And now what that'll allow you to do is actually get the legs situated. So the legs are, get his arms out of the way, on a double joint. So you have the actual knee joint here, and then you have a transformation joint down here. You want to take it at the transformation joint and push it forward until it clicks in. Now, when I first got this guy, those were super tight. So if they're extremely tight, just gently tug on it. Don't yank on it or anything like that. Just make sure that you're pulling. If you need to put something in there to kind of loosen that up a bit, I recommend getting some silicone grease. But over time, they did loosen up enough to where it's fairly easy now. Now what we can do is go ahead and fold the feet down, separate the legs. And here's where we get to some of the more complicated parts. Whoop. Sorry, he has one really tight arm and one normal arm. So you have it like this, all right? You want to take this section here, pull up, rotate it 180 degrees, and then just leave it there for now. Now, what you're going to want to do is take the front tread here and just rotate around until the arms are sticking forward like this. Then you can take the front plate here and just fold it down, not all the way, it won't click in yet. If you try and fold it down now, you're probably going to pop it off. Now what you can do is take the arms and fold them the rest of the way up, and then they're on little sliders. So what you're going to want to do after that is just take those treads and press them in, they'll click in. Now you can take the front plate that we had sitting there and fold that up. Grab this little tab here, or here, let me show you on the other side. This little bit right here, just push that forward, and that will allow you to get in there, fold his head out. Now you take the back section here, has two tabs on either side here. They go into two slots on the treads. You just press that up and tab it in. Now you can fold the arms down and take the two front cannons here and just fold them all the way around until they click into place. And now we can set him over there and readjust my camera real quick so that we can actually see the guy. There we go. And for the final step, you just take the cannon, 5mm port here. There's two on his arms, so you can pick. I personally choose to do the back one when I have it configured like this. Just plug that in, and there we have Tarn in his robot mode. I almost called him Tron, sorry. And yeah, he looks pretty great. As far as just things I'm worried about, one, I do think the transformation joint in the legs will get too loose at some point, but I'm not sure about that yet, so don't hold me to that. Another issue I have is the amount of clear plastic that is going on. There's a ball joint socket for his head right here, or is it a ball joint socket? No, okay, so that's good at least, but his head tabs in using a clear plastic like hole for a little peg, and I'm not too sure how long that's going to last. But yeah, the figure looks great overall. I mean, and he cleans up super well. I mean, there's no back kibble to him whatsoever. Now, articulation wise, you do get full 360 at the shoulders. You get in and out. You get a bicep swivel. You get an elbow. Goes a little over 90 degrees. You do get a wrist swivel. On mine, it's pretty tight though, and something we really haven't seen too much on mainline figures except for Jax's, posable hands. Well, posable hands is a generous way of putting it. You can open and close this hand basically. You also get a waist swivel. Head is on a ball joint. You can't really do any like it's very hard to get him to look side to side, but he does have a ball joint. And then as far as the legs go, he can kick out like that far. Knee has over 90 degrees of bend. He can get a full, well, almost a full split going. And the ankles are on a tilt, and the transformation joint does allow for up and down at the ankle. So pretty good articulation, pretty standard, nothing insane or anything like that. Now, the main thing that Hasbro was marketing this figure for was the fact that he's not as hollow as a lot of other figures are. They do actually have plates or pieces that are screwed together. Now, in reality, he's still hollowed out. I mean, you can see there, that's all hollow. The guns are all hollowed out. He has hollow plastic for his hands. The main thing is that his thighs are completely solid. They're actually pinned together. Now, as far as other areas that might be hollowed out, the arms do have hollowed plastic. However, they're very clever about how they hide it. So you can see they're hollowed out here, but because that panel folds around, you can't see it all that much. So Hasbro it's not that they necessarily didn't hollow out the figures, that they got very clever about how they did it. But with all that being said, let's get down to some more size comparisons. Here he is with Blur. As you can see, he is quite a bit taller. Of course, he's a Voyager, that's deluxe, so that's to be expected. If you're wondering why my Blur looks like this, I've done the modification where the arm guards that would originally sit on the back of his arm are now just a backpack, and I think it looks a million times better, but we'll get to that when we get to review this guy. And for the final size comparison of the video, we have his wave mate once again. Sorry, get them straightened out here. We have him with Leo Prime. And as you can see, still quite a bit taller. No, not as tall. He's about half a head taller than Leo Prime is. Yeah, I think both these guys look really great. I do think Tarn is definitely the better figure just because, one, he cleans up so much nicer, and two, I think his alt mode looks a lot better. There's nothing wrong necessarily with this guy except for that lion head looks atrocious. I have no idea why they chose to do it like that. But that concludes the size comparisons, and I believe that also brings an end to the review. So, with all that being said, that has been my review of Legacy Evolution's Tarn. Yeah, I definitely recommend him. If you can find him at your local stores, get him. This is definitely what the standard for modern Transformers should look like and should feel like. So if you can find him at your local stores, get him. If you need to order him online, get him. Just please make sure that we get more figures like this by ordering this guy. But without further ado, I'm going to call it here. I will see you guys some other time.